Okay, folks, so here we are back at the chainsaw table, continuing work on the 257 262 XP conversion. And after consulting with a few people, I decided rather than modifying the squish band or the top of the piston, that I would just make a base gasket out of a Canada Dry soda can, and because that's what I had laying around. And so I'm just gonna use the base gasket from the 257 cylinder and just put it on here and cut it out, and then we'll be able to hopefully get this thing up and running soon. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. See if we can get this going. Not going to be too interesting to watch, I don't think, but maybe. Just break it out of there, and there we go. A Canada Dry base gasket. So, all right, well, that's good. Looks good. Fits the, this base gasket fits right on there. Now, move that out of the way. And just seems to fit right on. So, okay, well, I'm gonna clean up this this area with some some brake clean and get that all nice and polished up so that it'll seal. I'm not going to bother showing that, but we'll get this and we'll get ready to put the cylinder on and get this thing together so we can try it out. Okay, thanks. Okay, we're back, and only after a minor technical difficulty, didn't get any video of putting the ring in the piston and the cylinder on, but anyway, it's on. And I did clean up a little bit of just metal on the piston. I had mentioned that before. I did just take a little on the Dremel and just kind of cut a little bit of that off. I didn't do any modifications to the piston at all, just cleaned it up a little bit, and put a little chamfer on the edge where the windows are, because just with a sanding disc on the Dremel, because it was super sharp, and so I just rounded that over a little bit just so it wasn't quite so sharp. But we got the piston and cylinder on, and it turns over fine. No interference on that transfer port where I had to do a little grinding on the outside. And so we're just gonna start putting her back together, and gonna have to wait for the moto seal to cure, so we won't run it today, but we should have it up and running tomorrow. So we're just gonna start, if I can remember how it goes back together, start putting some pieces on, and you know, hopefully we'll have a saw that'll be ready to run pretty soon. So, okay, got some parts and pieces here. This way. So I did not modify the muffler. I want to run it as other than not having a stock base gasket. I wanted to run it pretty much stock for now, so we can see how it does, and then we'll start modifications from there. I just wanted to see how it's going to do in kind of in stock trim. So just getting the muffler attached here. It's pretty, you know, pretty simple to get this attached. Just, you know, 2 bolts that attach it to the cylinder, and then 2 bolts that attach it to the case, and that's it. Something doesn't seem quite right here. Bolts seem a little bit long. They're not tightening it down. I might have to put some washers on that, because it's not going in the cylinder any farther. So perhaps the you know, the bolt holes in the 257 cylinder are a little deeper. Okay, so found some washers. You know, just I'm gonna double them up, and you know, I put one in already just to make sure it was gonna be tight, and it looks like it is. It will tighten down. So we'll just get this in. And I did look at there, right at where the hole goes through the mounting portion of the cylinder, there's a fin, and the hole does not go any farther. So the bolts were going through the hole and hitting one of the cooling fins. But there, I think it's on and tight. So I think we're good there. And we'll get these two in. Go into the case. And actually, before I get too much farther, let's go ahead and test the squish. Now that I've got that little bit of a base gasket in there, and let me get my solder. Okay, I think we'll be good. Okay, so let's keep going. to have to make a gasket. I forgot about the different intake block, and my gasket that I have is not going to fit. So I'm gonna have to make a gasket. Anyway, all right, I'll pause it here and make a gasket. So the new gasket is made, and you know, it's not pretty, but it'll work. And so now I'm gonna bolt in the carburetor and be just that much closer to having this thing ready to go. So one thing I am doing is, for the moment, I'm not using this little, it's like an air blocker, so that more of the cooling air can go around the cylinder rather than coming back into the carburetor chamber. But this one doesn't fit with the other intake block. This one is specific to the 254 and the 257, and so I'll have to see if I can find one. If not, then I'll just modify this one. But for now, just to get it running, I'm just gonna put it together without it, and that way I'll be able to, you know, test run it. You know, so hopefully I'll be able to get that. See if I can find one of those pieces. I don't know how hard they are to find, but you know, we'll get it. And you know, with any luck, well, it's not going in. Come on, I thought it was taking forever. Still not quite going. There we go. No, it's still, the bolt isn't quite going into where it needs to. Which way that's got to go. Seems like there's always, there we go. Seems like there's always something. But there we got it. Like I said, this is just the stock OEM 257 carburetor that I was going to use. And so there shouldn't be any problem with that. Just loosen this just a little. Just so I can get these in. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully it'll run well. This is I've never swapped a cylinder out like this before, so it's basically a 262 XP or a 257 big bore. Rather than 57 cc's, it's the 62. And but I'll just okay, get the fuel line on, and now the choke and the throttle linkage. Come on. There we go. Throttle linkage is in. And choke is in, throttle works, choke works. Okay, we're getting pretty close to having a full saw here. So put on the air filter. Filter's on. Oh, not going to run too well without a spark plug. Okay, so found the new spark plug. I'm going to be running an NGK BPM 7Y, and just going to make sure that it doesn't hit. Okay, it's not hitting, and so that's good. It's a little bit big. Okay. All right. Oops. Choke lever came out. Okay, well, let's put the top cover on. Okay. So, remember I told you that I didn't know what year this was, but the person who bought it originally wrote right on the top cover, purchased August of 1996. And it's got a 5 at the beginning of the serial number, so it was probably produced in 1995 is my guess. And I'm not exactly sure how to read all the serial numbers, but that would be my guess. So all right, now we'll see, we'll get this. There's my spacer. Oop. Butterfingers. Better put that in before I put it in there. It's got this little plastic piece that goes inside the handlebar. There we go. All right, 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, we'll get these tightened down. I'm going to have to dig up a bar and chain. This saw did not come into the shop with a bar and chain. I think it's 3/8. So I'll have to see if I can dig up a 3/8 bar and chain for it. But I'll find that for it before we run it. And I'm not going to bother putting this on because I still have to put the bar and chain on. But there we go. We have a fully assembled 257 into a 262 XP. That was with the decompression open, and now it's closed. Oh, yeah, definitely got some compression, and looking good. Now we'll just wait for the motor seal to cure, and we'll give it a test run. So we'll pause you, and I'll bring it back tomorrow. Actually, I'll go ahead and post this bit, and the next time you see it, hopefully we'll have it up and running. Okay, thank you very much. Enjoy the video.